Uncle Dan, the Vinyl Man here, Ms. Enfant. I'm here to talk about something. I'm really tonight going to channel my inner. There's a Brit who does things about music, things about records and stuff. Not really vinyl community, I think, but things about records. His name is Eddie Andrews, and he has bad teeth. Oh, well, he's a Brit, so. Anyway, the Brit with bad teeth named Eddie Andrews, and I think he's got a goatee. And he goes, oh, I hate this, and I hate that, and I hate these things too. I say about the things I hate them. And he bounces around. He spits a lot and everything. Anyway, I'm channeling my inner Eddie Andrews here to talk about somebody I hate, somebody you should hate, somebody everybody should hate. And I'm talking, of course, about Grace Bowers. And talking in particular about her album Wine of Venus, which I just got on vinyl last week, and I've listened to. Well, I listened to it a number of times before then on Apple Music, but I got it on vinyl. Grace Bowers. She's 18 years old. She's a guitarist and has a band called the Hodge Podge, or I guess has a band or plays with the band called the Hodge Podge. And released this album last year. I think most of the songs are by her and the band, and then it has the great Sly and the Family Stone Dance to the Music on it. Well, it's great by Sly and the Family Stone. By Grace Bowers, I'm going to channel my inner Eddie Andrews. Oh, yeah. Well, so a truly despicable artist and a truly despicable album. And I'll tell you why I hate her and you should hate her. I think you can see one of my guitars in the background there, one I actually put together myself from parts. It's one of Dan's part casters, a Danatone. I play guitar. Grace Bowers plays guitar. And I will tell you that between Grace Bowers, an 18-year-old, and me, a 67-year-old, who's been playing guitar for decades, there is no comparison. There is just no comparison with what this 18-year-old can bring with what I can bring. Yes, she's disgusting. She's a disgusting guitarist. Because she's fabulous and she's 18. That is not fair. It's not fair. My picture's great. It is entirely unfair that she's as good a guitarist as she is. It should not be allowed. There should be a statute against it. It should be a constitutional amendment that 18-year-olds should not be allowed to play guitar that well. I will not stand for this aggression. This aggression, man, will not stand. So, disgusting. Okay, the next thing is, the reason that I hate her is the songs on the album are fun. They're great songs. And that shouldn't be allowed. Young people should not be putting out great music these days. I am a baby boomer. I feel like one, but I'm a baby boomer. Young people should not be putting out albums that are as good as albums that were out when I was a kid. Okay? We cannot have that. Shouldn't be. We olds know that the young people of today suck. They're terrible. Young people are despicable. For a young person to put out an album like this contradicts everything that I and other boomers stand for. We should not allow this to stand. This aggression will not stand, man. No more great albums like this. It's disgusting. They do a great version of Dance to the Music, which is a great song by a great band from my era when I was a kid. And they come in and do this beautiful version of it and with a freaking 18-year-old on guitar. Utterly disgusting. Don't allow this to happen. Ms. Bowers herself helped write the song Wine on Venus, which finishes it out, and it's a song from her about her grandmother, who apparently said, when I die, I'll be drinking wine on Venus. Don't worry about me, I'll be drinking wine on Venus, which is a cool thing to say. Props to her grandma, who's an old person like I am, except she's now a dead person. I'm, I'm not dead, despite the way I smell. So anyway, it's a great song, written by freaking like she was like 17 when she wrote it. It's disgusting. We cannot have this. We cannot have that. The vocalist on here, Esther Okaiteta, I believe is her name. She's a great vocalist, young black woman, African American woman, and she's a great vocalist. Again, young woman, great vocalist, great performer. We cannot allow this out of young people. Just not permissible. Other things I hate about this album is that it's got really great freaking artwork on it. Look at that. This is like something out of the Summer of Love. This is a great funky look to it. Don't be stealing the funky look of late 60s, early 70s, people. Come on. That's ours. It belongs only to us old people. Young people, generation whatever you are, double F or whatever you are, you're not allowed to have things like this. Do my proper Eddie Andrews. Well, I'm not allowed to have things like this, and bounce around. Terrible. And look at the back cover too. See, it's fun. It looks like Jimi Hendrix could have had a hand in that, and Eric Clapton the Fool guitar. Despicable that they're doing things like that. Cool sleeve here. Hey, look. What are you doing there? Just look at that. And and it sounds like when they play the music, it sounds like they're having a good time. I've watched a bunch of videos over on YouTube, and they're having fun, and it's a cool cool purple deep, kind of a deep purple with deep splatters in it. You kind of see that in there. Young people today are supposed to be just on their, on their iPhones or on their phones and, playing games and doing the TikToks and the Instatalks and the Toxograms and things like that, and not doing fun things like this. Young people aren't supposed to be smart, talented. And she also has the best goddamn hair in the world, or at least one set of it, and she's she's 18, so if I were like 50 years younger, I would be I'd be completely smitten with her because of her looks. That's also disgusting, because even if I were 50 years younger, I'd never had a chance with a young woman like Grace Bowers, except I actually managed to end up being married to some lovely and wonderful women, so intelligent women. I can't understand it, and they have some explaining to do for why they married me. Anyway, Grace Bowers, Wine on Venus. Also the album is well pressed. Played it on a couple of my turntables, and it sounds great on them. Nice pressing on the album, which is also disgusting. I didn't want that to happen either. So, all the way around, totally disgusting, horrible person, because she's she should not be allowed to play guitar that well. She should not have a band that good. She should not be able to write songs, this great. Shouldn't have as much fun doing songs like this. Leave the fun stuff to the old people. You young people, stop doing these things. Stop making me feel bad and inadequate. That's some sort of macro-aggression. And anyway, don't be buying this, because if you do, you'll only encourage her to put out more albums, and God forbid that we have more excellent albums like this. And I'll tell you, she gets in my brain, and that's one of maybe the things I hate most about her. I got this album, and I had ordered it from down in the valley, down in Golden Valley, Minnesota, one of the burbs, and it arrived, and then I got an email from a manager there saying, "Oh, by the way, it's we're going to put that in the mail." I was like, "Well, you kind of don't have to because I already got a copy of it." And he said, "Oh, you going to come down and see the show tonight?" I was like, "What? Grace Bauer is coming?" And I was like, "Oh, we did drive down." And he said, "No, somebody else. I made a mistake. I was talking about somebody else showing up," and I was disappointed then. That's the sort of disgusting thing that this young woman does. She'll get an old man, a sick old man, thinking about driving down to the Twin Cities, all of a sudden just to see her play. And, I wasn't able to do so, but that's the sort of disgusting sway that she has over people who listen to her. She's a witch. You know what we do. Okay, this is Uncle Dan, the Vinyl Man, saying, as always, mes enfants, je dis à vous, au revoir et aussi à bientôt.